Welcome back. In this short episode, I will show the adventuring aspect of the game. Because sometimes you may not want to follow a quest, just simply you want to go out to have an adventure, to get stronger, get more loot. In these cases you can use your compass to find new locations. Because as you can see there is a white icon, which means that the location is close to you but you haven't explored it yet, so you cannot travel to it. And in these cases, you can just simply follow your compass. Now this ruin is kind of strategically placed in front of the starting location. So it's kind of designed to be your first dungeon. And of course you have to fight in these places. Almost everyone in these dungeons is an enemy, and it's kind of randomly generated. So these ones don't have names or anything like that. But you can freely take everything you find here. And it's important that you cannot fast travel from within the ruins, so you have to find the exit. Let's go in. And here you will use your local map, although it's a bit difficult to follow at first, but you can get used to it very easily. And then simply you just need to fight your way through these dungeons and be on the lookout for traps, enemies, and most importantly treasure. Sometimes dungeons have more than one level. As you can see, the waterfront is where you came from, Wilverin is where we are right now, and Wilverin Canossel is a second layer. And it's really easy to get confused and just wander around aimlessly, getting stuck, so it's very good to remember how many layers are there to know where you are. I would like to point out the importance of lockpicking once again. This is a very good example that even wall sections, like such as rooms or passages, can be locked if you don't have the means to unlock it. And as you can see, if you mess up, you break your lockpick. And depending on your skill, some of the previously set parts also can reset. You may find places with water, and it's kind of dangerous because you have a limited breath. You have to be careful in these cases. So I would like to say a few words about the types of dungeons, because this may seem very overwhelming at first, but after a while you can get used to the layout, because even though each dungeon is separately made, it's different, they use the similar tile sets. For example, this is the A-lead room type. There are also forts, caves and such, and you can find recurring geometrical, like architectural themes, so after a while it's much easier to find your way around. And each dungeon has different types of enemies and different types of traps and such to look out. For example, the A-lead ruins contain a lot of traps and undead enemies, but you will find Welkin stones that sell pretty well for an early level. You can see some of the dangerous traps here. So if you come to one of these dungeons, you have to look out for these stones. And in general, when you see the look of a dungeon, you know what to expect. One interesting trick you can use in dungeons is to actually wait with the button T. You wait for an hour and you're completely healed and there are no consequences. So anytime your enemies are not near you, you can use this little trick. Okay, so as you may have noticed, a sign appeared next to the compass and it shows the moon, the sun, the arrow, as you can see. And this is a sign that you gained enough level ups in skills for a general character level up. So you need to sleep. And then you gain a level. The bonuses depend on which skills you increased. So, because I increased skills that are govern speed, such as athletics, light armor, acrobatics, I got a huge bonus to speed. And you can select the others. You can always select 3. But to people who really want to create a very powerful character, it's really important to get huge bonuses, because otherwise the level up is not significant if you just get 1 bonus to each compared to the maximum of 5 bonus each level up. And as I've said, luck can only be increased by 1 every level, making it very slow and ineffective to level. This is why the initial bonus is so useful. This will be my level up, I think. As you level up, all the random chest contents, the enemy levels, the gold levels you get for quests and such get updated as well. Now, because of the randomized loot, there isn't much of a traditional final boss or final reward like in more modern games. But there are these Warla stones that can be definitely considered as final rewards in these elite runes. They are worth a lot, especially if you are starting out. But they are also very useful for recharging your magical items, so even though it's very tempting to sell them, you may want to keep them. Or you can sell them, it's really up to you. And this is generally at the end of each of these ruins. So you can just feel that you completed it, even though there is no traditional sign that you accomplished something. Now, as you can see, I arrived at an interesting place, because this is actually the starting area. This is where we entered and this is where we are now. But this is just a higher location. Now, this is actually a shortcut, because most of the dungeons are designed in a way that there is either a second exit or a shortcut. Actually, if you could jump to that high, which is actually possible with bonuses and potions and such, you could go to the final room right from the beginning. So when you are finished, the way out is usually very quick and convenient. So this was adventuring in dungeons in a nutshell.